Alright you guys, welcome back to the Fishwater Aquatics YouTube channel, and in today's video, you guys have seen the title, you guys have seen the thumbnail. We are going to be making my first ever planted aquarium, and yes, we are going to make it my South American cichlid tank, and we're going to turn this into a planted aquarium in today's video. Now you might be looking at some of these fish that I have in here, like I have this Severum, I have this other Severum, and some other fish. I have like this electric blue Jack Dempsey, and these geophagus, and you're probably thinking to yourself, these are not the most plant-friendly fish. You guys know the Severums can eat plants, and the geophagus will probably like to uproot plants if they're in the sand bed, but I have a plan for that, and if I'm posting today's video, if you're seeing it on YouTube, that means something must have went right. And just as some information, I have never kept any plants in any aquarium ever. I've actually never kept any plants, period. So we're gonna see how this goes. This by no means is like a how-to guide, but you know, I'm just taking some of the information that I've gathered on the internet and done my research on some plants that I want. We're gonna put them in the tank in today's video, and it'll definitely give the plants, or I'll definitely give the tank a lot more of an aesthetic look with the plants in there, and definitely help the aquascape. And I think the plan, the end goal, is to, you know, have plants scattered throughout, but also I want to make the tree like a real tree. Imagine like moss or, you know, some sort of plants covering the top, like the top like stems of the tree, and it looked like a real tree. I think that would be sweet. So that's kind of like the end goal. So we'll see how far we get in today's video. So the first plant I'm adding in are these three Java Fern right here. These are super cheap, super hardy plants from Petco. We're just gonna see how these go in. We're gonna throw these all in on one side, and then I'm gonna get some more expensive plants and put them on the other side and just kind of see how they compare. These guys were like $4 a piece, so super cheap, and we're just gonna see how they do. Now these guys get their nutrients from the water column, so we're just gonna end up gluing them to these rocks right here, and we're gonna see how it looks. I kind of have a spot in my head planned out, but let's go ahead, let's start moving them to the tank right now. So first order of business, gotta take this big rock out of the water here. The fish are not gonna be happy, but we gotta do it. Not too bad. So first order of business here, I kind of dried the rock off so the glue has something to adhere to. This is my little workspace. I'm thinking about mounting a plant to this lone piece of rock so I can kind of move it around the tank wherever I want, just so, you know, I'm not stuck with wherever I glue some of these plants down. I'll have that guy to kind of remotely move around. And then I'm using this glue here, a Magitarium Aquarium plant glue. Not sponsored or anything, just gonna try it out. I saw it on the shelf, so I figured I'd grab it. So I'm gonna go ahead. These rocks have like little slots, like little holes in them already, which is kind of nice. So I'm just gonna kind of plop the plants in there, and we'll see how it looks. And like obviously this is the front of the rock that you view through the video. So yeah, this should look all right. So I went ahead, I got two glued on here. As you can see, it kind of comes in like this little ball at the bottom here that has roots and some string attached. Looks like you can tie down, but I got them glued. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna glue the last one. I'm gonna kind of show you guys the glued process. This one I kind of stuck in this hole here, but let me get this other one out and show you. So I'm gonna do this one-handed, but you just take your little glue right here, and there's like a little spot back here that's kind of got like a perfect slit for a plant. So you just squeeze a little bit on. It says it doesn't take a lot in the instructions, so just a little bit, but I'm applying maybe a little bit more than you need. But it kind of keeps coming out after if you're using this bag, so I'm just letting it kind of all come out here. As you can tell, the gel just keeps coming out, and then you just basically grab your plant. Now this one is looking a little rough. It only has a couple leaves, and the base is all brown, but you know, it was $4, so you know, I don't really know if I could have crazy expectations for it, but you just set it in there and let the glue dry. I'm gonna use two hands and get a better placement on this guy. Hold on. So I just got it better placed in there. This back one, I don't know if it's gonna make it. It's looking kind of rough. You can see the leaves are kind of spread out, but the other two are looking great. We're gonna see how these three do in the tank. Like I said, these are like $4 at Petco, so I don't have crazy expectations, but we might as well just see how it goes. And I'm just gonna let the glue dry and plop it back in the tank. All right, so I just dropped the first plants in here. I think I need to rearrange these rocks just a tiny bit because it's not how they were before. And yeah, I don't know if I like them or not, but yeah, the first plants are in here. This guy looks really good. And then this front one looks good. That back one with like the brown at the bottom of the leaves there, I truly don't know if that's going to impact the plants or not, but overall I'm happy with the way that looks given how cheap the plants were. So we're gonna go ahead to head to a very well named local fish store and get some more quote unquote expensive plants and see how those look. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go over there and you know, make the trip down there. For you guys, it'll just be a couple seconds and I'll be back with more plants. Also, if you didn't know, the plants will lower your nitrates as well. So I'm doing a quick nitrate test before I put all the plants in. And you can see we're right at around the 10 to 20 mark. So we'll keep an eye on this and see if it changes at all. So I just got back from my local fish store and I got the new plants in the tank already. Let me just go ahead and show you guys how we're looking here and I'll explain exactly what I got. So I got 2 Anubias plants. So one here and one there. And then I also went ahead and I got this weeping moss. And the plan for the weeping moss is I want it to grow into the tree, and once it fills out, it'll actually make the tree look like a real tree. But I guess the caveat is I don't know if my fish will eat this or not. And if they do, I'm just gonna get something else, things such as like guppy grass or hornwort, something that I know that will grow fast, almost kind of grows like a weed, but it would fill out the tree and look awesome. But for now, I just want to try the moss and see if it's going to work out. And I know it's very patchy, but I tried to hit most of the important areas and it should grow in and cover the tree nicely. Now I just moved everything in and the tank is kind of stirred up right now, so it's a little cloudy, so I'm gonna let everything settle and we'll take a closer look at everything and I'll explain why I picked the plants that I picked. So it is now a little bit later, guys, and the tank has cleared up a little bit more. There still has a little bit more clearing up to do, but it looks pretty good for now. So let's go ahead. Let's go over the plants that I picked, guys, because I picked them all for a reason. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So on the left side, like I said, we have the Java fern. This is the cheap section, I guess you'll call it. The cheap section from Petco, Java fern. And then on the right side over here, we have the Anubias. These are the bigger leaves. And then, of course, we have the weeping moss, which looks absolutely amazing. So I guess so far with the hours that it has been with these plants in the tank, none of the fish really have showed any interest in eating the plants, which is great. Some of them have kind of picked at it and then just left it alone. So the Java fern and the Anubias, they are kind of known for being having like tougher leaves, I guess, so the fish aren't as, you know, eager to eat them, as well as I heard that fish just don't like the taste of them. So I'm hoping that, you know, once they nibble on the leaves a little bit, they'll realize that they don't want to eat them. Now, as far as like this weeping moss, this was just kind of an impulse buy. And so far it seems like no one has really taken interest to it. And if that grows out, I think it'll look absolutely amazing. So I kind of just attached moss to kind of like every piece of the tree and hopefully it'll all fill in. And it looks like it should grow relatively quickly, so we should see results even within a couple weeks. So I'm excited for that. Now, the Java fern and the Anubias plants, they take out nutrients from the water column. So that means that the roots, they don't have to be like seeded into the substrate to get nutrients. That they more so, like I said, pull like nitrates and nutrients out of the water column, which is great. So that's why I was able to kind of glue everything down over here onto the rocks. And then the Anubias over here, it's kind of, this one's just kind of chilling in the skull, and then this one is just, you know, sitting behind the tree, and these two are not anchored down to anything, so I can move them around however I would like. But you know, I think the setup is perfect for this tank. So you guys let me know what you think. I think like with the Geophagus constantly digging, the fact that these guys aren't just sitting in the substrate definitely will help them kind of stay more secure. And there is another plant I would really like to get, and that is an Amazon sword. Now, if you know anything about the Amazon swords, they look really cool, but those sit in the substrate, so I'd have to come up with something creative to make that work. But there are definitely solutions out there, so maybe in a future video, I will get a couple more plants, but I really don't want to take away from the swimming space of the fish, as this is just a 75-gallon, and some of these fish do get a little bit bigger in size, and especially the Severums over here, and that electric blue Jack Dempsey. But, you know, I eventually do plan to move everything in this tank to a 6-foot long tank, so like a 150 or 180. But as of right now, I mean, I think everyone has enough space. But overall, I'm super happy with the way it turned out, and we'll definitely have to track the growth of all the plants and all the fish in this tank. And leave any comments for any plants you think I should add in the future. You know, I'm always open. Like I said, I'd like to get that Amazon sword, and there's some like red plants that are out there, but I think those are more kind of advanced. But you never know where the fish tank journey will take us. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, leave your thoughts, questions, comments in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to answer them. And hit that subscribe button if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Peace out, y'all.